Between spring and fall, you guys are probably like 45 practices in now that a game is nearing. I guess what's the feeling?
Shoot, just excitement. Everybody ready to play. Everybody been flying around. So, all the preparation we didn't put in, we just want to, transpire on the field on Saturday.
And then obviously this is a huge matchup against the number 2 team in the country.
Yes,
So
sir.
what are you guys going to have to do to stick in this game and put some pressure on them?
We've been preaching all week. Just focus on us. There's a lot of external factors, over there going on over there. But the only thing we really could do is just focus on us. Trust your brother next to you. So yeah, that's what we've been preaching.
I'm sure you guys have done a ton of film study. I guess what stands out about their offense? I know they have 9 starters back.
Yeah.
They've got a couple really good running backs. They got a quarterback who might be a first.
Yeah, for sure. They obviously got some talent on the side of the ball, but just what they do with a lot of shifts and motions. It's important for us on the defense side of the ball just to have good eyes, be disciplined with our assignment and detail. So yeah.
Where do you feel like the defense has grown most from the first fall camp practice to where you guys are at right now?
Just the chemistry part because we got a lot of new guys on the defensive end. Just the communication part. Just trusting one another. I feel like that was the biggest thing we grew.
And how has that kind of grown? I mean, what's been the key to – you guys have played a lot of football, but just not together.
Yeah, I feel like the key – we got a lot of older guys that have played a lot of football. The most important thing is just bringing it all together. Extra film study, getting extra work, just building that chemistry, all aspects. So, yeah.
Penn State's run game is pretty well known. I mean, those 2 running backs could end up 1 and 2 in program history in rushing.
Yes, sir.
What stands out about those guys in particular? What you guys have to do in the run game to force them to throw the ball?
Yeah, talented runners. They're gonna be physical at the point of attack. They can make guys miss. So it's important for us to go in and wrap up, be physical at the point of attack for sure. So that's the most important thing.
And then you individually, I guess, how have you approached this season? I guess, how are you feeling entering the year?
Shoot, just my preparation. Like years before, I don't think I really was detailed with my preparation, like film study, treatment, recovery, things like that. And obviously, there's always the things you can get better at on the field too. So, just working at those things, perfecting my craft.
You guys are going to be on CBS. I guess what's the message you want to send to people tuning in the nation about Nevada football and what you guys are capable of?
We got some dogs and we're ready to play. We're just ready to compete. So, that's the message for Nevada football. We're just ready to compete.
You guys have obviously been like an underdog entering the season, picked last in the preseason poll. The batting line in this game is pretty large. I guess. How have you guys, kind of tried to take in that underdog mentality into just this season and proving people wrong?
Yeah, obviously we can't control, the polls and everything. The only thing, like I said, we've been preaching, just focusing on us, focus on what we can get better week by week, and that's what we've been doing.
What do you expect from the atmosphere of 100,000 plus people there?
I expect it to be crazy for sure, but, again, just focus on my teammates, focus on my assignments, every play, everything's going to come and play. So, yeah, for sure.
3 days away from game day, I guess what's the feeling that you're feeling?
Yeah, just pretty excited to go out there and play some ball finally.
And just your thoughts on Penn State and their offense as you kind of reviewed the film?
Yeah, they're a great team. It's going to be a great opportunity to play them.
Their running backs in particular kind of stand out. They could end up 1-2 in their program's history in rushing yards. I guess on film, what are you seeing from them?
We just got to tackle good, and we got to take off their motors, and then if we do that, then we'll have a chance.
You guys have played a couple of Big Ten teams in recent years. I guess do you take anything from those games heading into this one?
Well, yeah, always when you play a Big Ten team, O-line's a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more physical, so that we, as a D lineman, we have to come with it on Saturday.
How much do you think you'll learn about your defense just in this game against one of the toughest tests in the nation?
Yeah, I think we'll learn a lot. I think that if we do our job and we'll play correctly, then we'll like the product that we put on the field.
And what makes you optimistic about the defense? What have you liked most about fall camp?
I feel like we're on the same page. We communicate well and we play hard.
A lot of Coach Joe has talked about you guys all being in the same room. I guess how's that helped you entering the season?
Yeah, the continuity between us and my other defensive line guys, it makes a lot more sense now. We're all kind of on the same page. We all kind of know what we're doing in a sense so that we can work together.
When you look at Penn State and the atmosphere that you guys are going to, be visiting, I guess what most excites you about that opportunity of playing in front of that many people?
Yeah, obviously I forget what it is, 106,000. That's going to be the most people I've played in front of. So that'll just be a fun, cool, electric experience to be a part of.
As a captain of this team, I guess, is there a different feel for you entering the season just with that title?
Yeah, I feel like, I obviously have a lot more responsibility to the team and to my teammates as well, that I have to be prepared for every Saturday.
When you came here as a walk-on from Alaska, did you think you'd be in this position, whether it's being a captain or going to Penn State or all this kind of stuff?
Honestly, no. I always just wanted to, it was small steps. I wanted to make the travel team. Then I wanted to play on defense. Then I wanted to start. And so I've just had these little small goals, and I've slowly but surely reached them. And now I'm in the position I'm at.
Do you take time to reflect on that, or as the season starts, are you kind of not in reflective mode?
When the season starts, I'm in go mode kind of. So reflection was kind of in the summertime, I would say.
Sounds like you and Kai Woods went on a trip to
Yeah.
Alaska. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I brought a couple guys to my home in Alaska and traveled around the state. Got to show them around for like 5 days. It was a fun experience, For Kai, he's a city guy from Houston. He doesn't experience the outdoors at all, so it was a little bit of a culture shock. But he was game on with everything that we threw at him.
How did that trip come about? Was that just your idea?
Yeah, it was just like, I'm going home for 4th of July. Anybody want to come to Alaska? And it's like one of those things you kind of throw it up in there, not expecting anybody to say yes. But him and Marcus Spelling, yeah, we'll come up for the 4th of July up there. Screw it. And I was like, all right, guys, we're coming along. And then I invited 2 guys off the defense, Dylan Lababera and then Chris Smalley.
Okay. What was that bonding like? And, just the bonding of the team so far?
Yeah, it was kind of cool because you got 2 offensive guys, 3 defensive guys who would never be really in the same room together, meeting-wise or football-wise. But, that's kind of what it is about football. Everybody's a part of your team. And it was just a cool experience for us to just kind of bond together.
Did you fly any planes with them in it? Or
no, I didn't. I didn't. I left that up to my dad flying. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
How much are you just looking forward to your senior season, your last hurrah?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I just want, the best outcome for Nevada this year.
And what do you think it's going to take for you guys to be able to provide that and have a season you can be proud of?
Yeah, I think that we were in a lot of close games last year. And I think that if we just play clean and play together, that, those one-score games, eventually some of them will turn over into our favor.
What do you think is going to be the key in the pass rush being improved over last year's 14 sacks?
Yeah, I just think, like you were saying, we're in the same room now together. The continuity between us, we all know, what exactly everybody's doing so that we can hear the coaching tips for this guy and that guy to know if we have to play off of each other, kind of what everybody's doing.
Jonathan Maldonado's got some, positive comments from the staff throughout the fall camp. I guess, what have you seen from him in trying to take the next step?
Yeah, well, I've known John since he was like 17 years old when he showed up on the campus, and just the transformation that he's done, just the work that he's put in, you could see that his whole body's changed. And now that he's a starter now I'm excited to see him perform.